In Sweden, sustainability is not just a trendy word, it's a core principle. The entire country, including its capital, Stockholm, has made impressive strides in sustainability recently. Through various initiatives and hard work, Stockholm has evolved into a green and sustainable city, serving as a role model for cities worldwide. Stockholm's journey towards sustainability started back in the 1980s, when the city faced serious environmental issues like air and water pollution. These crises prompted the city to shift towards a more sustainable approach to development and urban planning. Here are some of the key steps Sweden has taken to become sustainable. Starting with Stockholm, it has heavily invested in improving its public transportation system, focusing on reducing pollution and increasing efficiency. The city boasts an extensive metro network, and its buses and trains now operate on clean, renewable energy sources. This has resulted in a remarkable 80% of all city trips being made via public transport, significantly reducing both traffic congestion and emissions. Sustainability is not limited to Stockholm alone. In other parts of Sweden, like Karlshamn in the south, innovative approaches are making an impact. The local council in Karlshamn has adopted electric cargo bikes for some deliveries instead of traditional lorries. This approach not only benefits the environment, but also enhances safety, particularly for school children and residents in the area. Sweden is making significant strides in using clean and sustainable energy sources. They've set a big goal to stop using fossil fuels entirely by 2040. To reach this goal, they're investing a lot in things like wind and solar power. In 2019, a whopping 70% of the energy they used in Stockholm came from these clean sources. Sweden has a long history of caring for the environment. They were the first country in the world to make laws to protect the environment back in 1967. They also hosted the very first UN meeting about the environment in 1972. Since then, Sweden has been working hard to make its economy grow while also cutting down on carbon emissions and pollution. Right now, about 60% of all the energy they use in the entire country comes from renewable sources. They also have strict laws to make sure they release as few greenhouse gases as possible. Sweden's efforts to keep its environment clean haven't gone unnoticed. They've been in the top 10 of a really important ranking called the Environmental Performance Index for over 10 years. This ranking is put together by Columbia and Yale universities and looks at things like clean air and water and how much pollution a country makes. But before moving ahead, if you enjoy watching this video, we would ask you to support our work by sharing this analysis and hitting the like button. Nevertheless, Sweden is also committed to a circular economy approach. In this approach, there's a strong focus on reducing waste and making the most of resources. Sweden has achieved remarkable success in this regard through creative waste management systems, facilities that convert waste into energy, and recycling programs. Their recycling rates are truly impressive, ensuring that materials don't just end up in landfills, but are instead reused and repurposed. This commitment extends beyond just managing waste. In Sweden, the circular economy is embraced right from the beginning, starting with how products are designed, how they are made, and how people use them. This concept is so important that the Swedish government has established a special advisory group dedicated to the circular economy, making it a central part of their government policies. Sustainable housing is another crucial aspect of Stockholm's commitment to a greener future. The city has set strict energy efficiency standards for buildings, pushing for the use of sustainable construction materials and the installation of green roofs. Furthermore, they're providing financial incentives to encourage building owners to upgrade their properties and make them more energy efficient. An excellent example of this sustainable housing effort can be seen in the Norra Djurgårdsstaden, also known as Stockholm Royal Seaport, located on the outskirts of Stockholm's urban park. Here, they've ingeniously repurposed an old gasworks site to construct thousands of eco-friendly homes. These homes incorporate innovative features like biogas derived from food waste, electric car charging stations, and plans for a new tram line. However, the true innovation goes beyond what's visible. Sweden faces a cold climate, and its high-tech society demands 3 times more energy per person than the global average. Nevertheless, urban living offers the potential for increased energy efficiency. Stockholm Royal Seaport stands as a testing ground for a groundbreaking smart energy grid. This project is a collaborative effort involving energy companies, universities, and home builders. It aims to redefine how energy is managed, making urban living not just more sustainable, but also smarter. When we talk about Sweden's environmentally conscious journey, creating climate-smart cities is another significant goal they have set. By 2050, according to the United Nations, around 2/3 of the world's population will live in cities, and Sweden is experiencing one of the fastest rates of urban growth in Europe. Stockholm is expanding rapidly, and this brings forth various challenges. The highways built back in the 1950s are congested, and there's a need to provide clean water, sustainable heating, and eco-friendly energy to millions of residents. In many parts of the world, the solution to urban growth has often been to build more homes by clearing forests and farmland. However, in 1995, Stockholm took a different approach. Instead of encroaching on green spaces, they made a groundbreaking decision to establish the world's first urban national park, safeguarding these precious natural areas. Additionally, they've been revitalizing old industrial zones, transforming them into energy-efficient, eco-friendly housing developments. Plus, the city has expanded its tram network, making sustainable transportation more accessible to its residents. Let's also discuss agriculture, which is an important part of Sweden's sustainability efforts. In Sweden, agriculture has adopted eco-friendly practices to reduce harm to the environment, and as a result, it's considered one of the most sustainable farming industries globally. One of the key approaches is promoting organic farming. Here, the emphasis is on reducing the use of chemicals and supporting a diverse range of plant and animal species. Swedish farmers are also adopting innovative methods like precision farming and agroforestry, which means growing trees alongside crops and sustainable crop rotation. These techniques are helping to ensure that agriculture in Sweden is not just productive, but also kind to the planet. But other countries can also take some things from Sweden and help their own green sectors grow for a healthy and better future. Sweden has emerged as a prominent hub for cutting-edge environmental research in recent decades. Within Stockholm, distinguished institutions like the Stockholm Environment Institute and the Stockholm Resilience Centre at Stockholm University are leading the way in pioneering sustainable solutions to address pressing environmental concerns. This rich research landscape has become a vital source of insights and innovations for the global community. Professor Johan Rockstrom, a co-founder of the Stockholm Resilience Centre, believes that Sweden can serve as an inspiring model for other nations. He highlights Sweden's influential role in environmental research and advocates for the country to shoulder significant responsibility. According to Rockstrom, Sweden should showcase, both through its scientific contributions and practical actions, that the integration of sustainability with human well-being is a path to success and development. However, Sweden's environmental initiatives extend beyond its borders. Its achievements provide valuable lessons that neighboring European countries, such as the United Kingdom, can incorporate into their own green development strategies. Collaborative knowledge sharing can lead to the adoption of more energy-efficient and environmentally friendly urban planning and development practices throughout Europe. Beyond Europe, South Asian nations, which bear the brunt of climate change, can find inspiration in Sweden's sustainable practices. Take Pakistan, for instance, a country that contributes relatively little to global carbon emissions but suffers severely from climate-related issues. Lahore, one of Pakistan's cities, ranks as the world's second most polluted city. Learning from Sweden's experiences can help South Asian countries devise strategies to combat pollution, manage resources sustainably, and mitigate the adverse impacts of climate change. While implementing such initiatives often requires funding, global powers must step in and provide support. The transfer of knowledge and resources can empower nations to address environmental challenges effectively. By building upon Sweden's successes and fostering international cooperation, regions worldwide can work towards a healthier and more sustainable future for all. To wrap it up, Sweden is a shining example in the realm of sustainability and climate action. They have shown the world how a circular economy, efficient transportation, and smart cities can make a real difference. Their commitment to protecting the environment is a lesson for all of us to follow. By adopting similar practices, we can work together to create a healthier planet and a better future for everyone. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more updates, and do watch our previous video on climate change. El Niño 2023. Is this the year it hits us hard?